Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Yes, I see there is a question. Will there be a live today? Yes, there is a live today. My phone did not want to cooperate. So what do? We restart and we refresh. And here we are. We're here ready to craft. And we're looking at the amazing release from the marvelous Built Right In monthly release today. And we're going to play with a couple of the things that are in there as well. Will your favorite be pulled out today? Why don't we go and see? Let's take a look. We'll move down to our other camera and have a look at all the gorgeousness that is included in this month. All right. And yes, we have the beautiful, amazing, wonderful hand behind the badge today doing all of this stuff. Okay, so the audio is choppy. Let me look and see if there's anything I can do. Let me change this button. Maybe. Okay, can't change that button. Trying to see. There we go. Yeah, we're at the, I don't think there's anything I can do at this point. I'm sorry, it's choppy. Let me try doing this. All right, let's see if that improves it. Let me give it a minute and see if that improves it. Okay, so people are sounding good. Okay, so I am, hope that's okay. I changed a couple settings. Hopefully that's going to work out all right. If not, let me know. We'll get started by, I like to do them in the order they used to be released. I can't let go of that old, remember we had like the first, we had the build, oh my gosh, the build a flower. Now it's build a garden. And we're going to start, this is the one we're really going to work at today. I think this is the dancing poppies, which is absolutely stunning. But there's a quick stencil move in there and there's layering up some colors. So I thought it'd be a fun one for us to take a look at. My favorite thing about this set, one die, cuts it all. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we have an amazing 4-piece stencil with this set right here. Absolutely nice. So we'll be using that today. And of course, I have my trusty friend. He has traveled all the way from the great state of Maine with me today. Next, because it's next in my pile, we will go with the Southern Magnolia layering die set. So this creates 2 beautiful, beautiful flowers. You can see on the back as you layer them together. There are also layering videos for this as well. If you get confused at all at any point, head on over to Altenew. We have product videos. You can pause the video, check it out as you're going through. And I keep my dies on magnet sheets. So here's a look at all of the dies that you get included. And this has 19 dies in the set. So, and I love that some of the littler pieces are all grouped together. They're all friends. They're hanging out together. I love when that happens. I love the keyhole and the arrow. Those are my BFFs as well. Then we have kind of a sad note as we come up here, a little bit sad. This is our final paint a flower for now. But there are lots of outline stamps for those of us that love to watercolor. So watercoloring is not going away with outline stamps. Altenew is still going to do amazing outline stamps. But for now, the paint a flower is going to kind of rest a little bit. And we're going to have, of course, new and exciting things always coming from Altenew. So, but this is a beautiful, beautiful Magnolia grandiflora. And again, the sentiments, the sentiments, the sentiments, the sentiments. Okay. Now we have I had to look up how to say this, but I love saying it now. It's one of my favorite cafe au lait. It's just, I feel so fancy saying it. Cafe au lait Dahlia. So yes, we have that. And it does, the cool thing about this is it's kind of at an angle. So you can use it in lots of different ways. And it's nice. It's one stamp for each of those, perfectly amazing. And then wonderful sentiments, of course. And of course, we have the wonderful dies to cut out all of the pieces for that. And then last, we'll save my absolute my fave for last. We have the Sweet Strawberries Hot Foil set. This is the Spark Joy set. So we have the sweet strawberries, okay, and you get a sentiment, you get your sweet, as well as the strawberries die. And the amazing thing that Altenew has done, because as you know, they're always very innovative, and you can see mine has been loved. Altenew has gone ahead, and for those folks that have not dove into the hot foiling yet, there is a stencil that takes care of that. Layer B can be inked if you're not using the stencil. So you can use this if you don't have the hot foil. You can use the amazing stencils. And hello, everybody that's coming in. Thank you so much for sharing. We so appreciate you sharing the crafty love of our products, of our community, of the company. We're so grateful. And as you know, there's a chance for a $15 card for the shop. So that's wonderful. And yeah, Sue, so the great thing about this set is you can still do it. You could still get the stencil, you get the set because it comes as a set, but you could still do the stencils and create a card. And it also has the word sweet. So you could even stencil the word sweet. So this really takes into account folks that, maybe aren't on the hot foil bandwagon yet. And that's okay. It's good to have options. I know I love options. All right, so we'll put that right back in there for just un momento, por favor here. Okay, we'll slide that back in there. Now, this is my fave. I know I'm not supposed to say that because they're all my favorite. It's like picking a favorite child. But when I saw this, my jaw dropped and it still has not come back up. I love sentiments. As you know, I'm a sentiment girl. Love the sentiments, sentiments, and big florals. I can't lie. Love a big floral. And so I just love that I can do one item and it's my project. It's the focal point. There are days, yes, I want to combine things. I want little images to tuck and do all of that. But a lot of times in my space, in my crafting, I love the chunky guys. So I can do just one. Let me grab I have a card base right here. Well, a card panel. I don't do bases, but until I send it. But look at let me wiggle this here. Look at the size. I mean, this is front and center your card. The great thing too is you get the embossing folder and it matches this top image perfectly. So that's very exciting as well. We have the stencil set. I've not used the stencil set. As you can see, it's still pristine in the package. I used my artist markers to color it. I was so excited. But you do get the stencil set, and you get the die set. So that's exciting as well, and it cuts out all of those. But loving. Yeah, I love the sentiments. And I am also loving how Altenew is putting dies for our sentiments. How cool is that? I love that because I'm a sentiment girl. I'm a sentiment girl all the way. All right, so yes, so this is, if I could only pick one, but I'm a big fan of the Craft Your Life kit. I always have been. I think it's my fave. If I have to pick one, I know it's like, again, it's like picking children. You don't really want to pick children, but the Craft Your Life kit to me has just amazing. I always have, it's endless because you've got the embossing folder and the stencils and yeah. Oh, Cece, I agree with you. My jaw is still down because of that set. So, all right, let's go back though. Let's have some fun. Let's get some poppies dancing here as, as the packaging implies. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. And I've got a few projects tucked in there that I've already completed. I'll show you before we get started kind of the card. It's going to be similar. Oh, I can't pick up my sentiment here. There we go. It's going to be similar. I kind of made this just messing around the other day, and I liked the way that it came out. So this is kind of where we're going today. Now, when you look at the package, you're like, wow, that's so not how they're arranged. But that's the great thing. You can cut these up. That's the great thing. So off we go. Let's get our stamp wheel out of its little carrier. And that carrier is excellent. It's protected it on a very long journey, a very long journey. It was supposed to be it was kind of like, what was that old show with the boat? Gilligan's Island. It was kind of like Gilligan's Island. It was supposed to be a 4-hour tour and it turned into a 48-hour tour. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to get, I got to trim off just a scotch. And by trim off, I mean use scissors. So we're going to, I just need it to be big enough for the stamp. And the stamp is one piece. Okay. So I can't do it this way because it's very close, okay, to fit on an A2 panel. It's super duper. That's kind of hanging off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go this way. But since I don't have a trimmer right next to me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just trim it this way, because I know if I trim it that way, I have plenty of room, because I want to have plenty of room for my die. So it's about, I would say, let me see, I took off about 2¼ inches. So this is 8.5 by probably 5.5, well, probably like 6-ish, somewhere in there. I like to have room when I work. Hi, Brendan, welcome. Hi, everybody. Okay, and then I'm going to just place this down. Now, it's important, I think, I always like to mention anyways, when you're using these products, it's always good to line it up similar to your layering guide. Every product has a layering guide that has layering involved. Hopefully that makes sense. If there's layering, there's a guide. There we go. That's a little bit better. So I want to make sure that I'm mimicking that. Okay, so I want to make sure my leaf is up. So that way, if I have any difficulty, there's no problem. I can just look at this and go, oh, okay, I got it. And here on this stencil, we're going to do a 180-degree turn. So that's why I thought it would be kind of cool to do this together so you guys could kind of see how this goes and kind of a different color option with it. And Emery's not here, and I'm already getting fur all over the place. I guess I can't blame Emery all the time anymore. I have to blame myself sometimes too, huh? All right, so I'm going to put my stamp wheel in. These enamel dots, when you get your stamp wheel, are priceless. Put some markings on your stamp wheel so you know where your base goes. That is my best advice for the stamp wheel. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to use pure graphite today. As far as this stamp wheel, there was an announcement made that it will be $329. That's the last announcement that I saw. I saw somebody talking about it. So yeah, so it's moved from $322 to $329. So thank you very much for that question. And Han can confirm that because that's her specialty. She has lots of specialties. Han and Angel, all of them, all are jacks of all trades. All right, move my hair out of the way. Should have pulled my hair back today. My hair wants to get in and be part of this beautiful project, which I don't need it to be. All right, so we're going to press this down. Absolutely, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I got a little piece of hair down there. We're going to just go with it. We're going to just keep moving on because you know how that goes. All right, so we will remove this off and, of course, just throw it to the side because that's how I craft. And then now is the fun part. I'm going to put my wheel aside because it's really fun. No, my platform. That's actually my platform. Because it's a stamp wheel. I always call it my wheel. I say it's really fun. So you guys know I am a little punny sometimes. Maybe punnier than I think I'm supposed to be. Okay. We got to have a good chuckle. All right. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to line this up. And usually I like to start where it's off. Okay, and then I like to come in from there, and we can come down just a little bit, move you down, using a different system today. I'll be back to my other one in April, but for today, this is the one. So I'm just going to put this into place. So I put it off first, okay, and then we come over, and I find it easier for myself to slide that into place. Okay, so now I see I'm all lined up. Now, on this, for this month, we're going to use Stencil 1. Now, of course, I say this, but what I mean is the instructions, because you can do whatever you would like to, my lovelies, when you get this home. But the instructions have it that we do 2 different colors on this one layer. And in the instructions, I'm doing mine all in Martian terrain today. I want them all one color. But in here, they use Red Cosmos and Cherry Blossom to create these. So these ones right in the center are the Cherry Blossom, and the top and the bottom are going to be the Red Cosmos. And then here you have the Bamboo and the olive, and here you have the grass field and the mountain pine. Okay, and they stamped it in obsidian to begin. So that's kind of how to read that. We're just going with Martian terrain today, but we will pack in the color. We will do a couple layers of each. If I would have thought ahead, of course, I probably would have pulled in my Peak Perfect, but you guys know I could craft with you all day. So there's always different color combos. There's always different things. So we're going to begin. Let me put this right up here. So this is the Martian terrain, pastel sunrise, and I'm beginning off and then going on. And again, I'm going to do all of my poppies in the Martian terrain, but you could do all different colors. I think it would be beautiful if you did a rainbow of these. I think that would just be absolutely stunning. It's funny, the more you play with these, and I'm a little off base down there. So this one's fine. I'm going to go up with this one, get this one in place. And I must have hit it when I, see, I love this. So I just come over here, I peel this up carefully, no tape, no nothing, all good. I still love my satin masking tape, don't get me wrong. When it comes to die cutting, that doesn't leave my paw. Okay, so now we're gonna go here and I'm gonna put in the color here. Okay, so here I've got my pastel sunrise down. Now, normally, this is where we kind of move on. You know, we're like, okay, we'll move to the next layer. But we're going to come in and we're going to add some canyon clay here. Okay, and if you wanted to, you could use some of the detail blending brushes because these are kind of a little bit of a smaller section. So you could if you wanted to. But you know me, Crafty Adventure, we're going for it. So I'm just going to add kind of at the base where I think it would be darker. And again, when you get this home in your place, in your studio, we cannot wait to see what you guys create. And please always share what you guys make because it's so inspiring. We love, love, love seeing what you make with these beautiful products. Okay, so there's my first layer. Now I didn't put my pastel sunrise away because we got to rotate. Now we're going to turn, okay? To everything, turn, turn, turn. So we just turn 180 degrees. When I opened this, I was like, oh goodness, I didn't know there was math involved. I was a little scared, but I did okay. Oh goodness, math and crafting. Okay, that's what I love about a lot of our implements and tools and all of that is that now we don't really have to think about it. It's all taken out of it for us. So we can just craft and we don't have to measure and yes. All right. So pastel sunrise. Let me get that up there. So we're going to do the same thing. Okay. So we're building the same flower combo on this. And then we'll go ahead and we will use the next two. So the burnt red and the mahogany bark. Those will be our next layers. Now, sometimes, as you saw, I had a piece of tape hanging around. I like to have a piece of tape hanging around. Not a backer, but a piece of tape. There we go. So sometimes if you want to make sure you can get that dark color, just put a little piece of tape. The satin masking tape is miraculous. Put a little piece of tape. And because I don't want to come back and do this again and move my tape and all that jazz, I'm just going to go ahead and put a dab of canyon clay right there. And then I'm going to come in from the outside and just get a little bit of that excess color off my brush and take away some of the whiter spots. Okay, and now that I have that, I can just peel this up and put this to the side. So I'll go back to my pastel sunrise. I know, Avril loves the maths. Avril, we have a lot of folks that really love the math. I can do calculus and all of that, but when it comes to fiddling with numbers and to make things and all of that, I'm like, oh. Like calculus was my thing. I liked calculus. So I can do math. It just, the type of math that I do for crafting is different from the math that I like to do. So hopefully that makes sense. But yes, so be careful. Again, there is that line showing you, do not go here. You don't want to go there. So it's okay. We don't want to color that in because we've already done that section. All right, then pick that up. And I love putting this holds my little ink cubes perfectly so they don't move. I don't have to have another tool. I've got my amazing stamp wheel. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some of the darker color in here. This is the canyon clay, okay? And then when we go to the next stencil, that's when we will move on to our burnt red and mahogany bark. This is still one of my faves. I got my rock collection in there by using the pure graphite, and I've got my Martian terrain, and we'll be using the blue for the background. So I've got all my faves here with us today. Angel's behind the badge today. So this one, we're all done. We can set this off to the side. And now we're going to come on to stencil number 2. Okay, and stencil number 2 just goes in right up in here. Slide it around to make sure it's in place perfectly. Okay, and then I just push this down onto my stamp platform, my stamp wheel, which is absolutely amazing because I don't have to have magnets or tape. This tool does it all. It holds my paper, it holds my stencil, it holds my little cube. It is a workhorse of the craft space. Absolutely phenomenal. So now we're going to go in with our burnt red. Okay, and I'm starting way off because burnt red's it's a hot color. It's absolutely beautiful, but I don't want to get too dark. So I like to start away because you can always add more. You can't really take away unless you're watercoloring, really. Okay, and remember, you don't really have to get, if you wanted to add, the dimension, which I'm trying to do, you don't have to get too bold about it at this stage because we are going to come in with that mahogany bark and add that on there. Okay, and to get these kind of whiter spots without adding more color there, I just start way over here, okay, and I go from the outside in as opposed to the inside out. Okay, so that takes away that white space. Now, if you like the white space, rock the white space. It's absolutely cool to have the white space in there if that's how you like to have it. But the great thing about this and about all these kits and stamps is that it gives you the option. So you can change it time to time. One time you can leave the white space, one time you don't. I think these would be beautiful watercolored with some reds and possibly pull in that metallic. I think adding some metallics to this would be absolutely stunning. So we're going to go ahead, get this here. And if I go over my white sheet, I'm okay. Because remember, we're going to use the die for this. So it's okay. The die is going to take care of it all. All right, and this one's a little lighter. So I'm going to go up, just put in a little bit more color on here. Okay. Now let's pull in the amazing mahogany bark. Now, if you want to, you can wipe your stencil at this point. I'm just letting this color go, man. Let it all be, friends. That's my theory. So mahogany bark, again, is a dark color. So again, make sure you're kind of controlled with it. You want to add as much as you want, but take your time. I think the thing with ink blending is it does come together quickly, but you want to make sure you give yourself time to like your project. And by that, I mean, you want to make sure that you like the color that's on there. Maybe you're looking at it and you're saying, oh, this needs something, but what does it need? Maybe it just needs another color brought in. So take the time. I know ink blending is a fast way to make a card, which we all love. And it adds such dimension and wonderful things so quickly, which is awesome. But enjoy the process, I guess is what I'm saying. Be patient with your craft and let your craft speak to you. All right, so here we go. All right, so I think that's where we're going to call that good. Now we're going to move on to the leaves. So I'm going to put my little blending tool over there. And yes, I'm using the small blending tools. I will use the large one. All right. Because my nails are fake, they're thicker, so you won't have this problem. I struggle a little bit because I have thicker nails. So here we are so far. How pretty. How pretty is that? So it's very, very pretty. And I love having different colors than we may expect. It's fun to have, an unexpected poppies. I always think of red. That's my first. It's going to be red. It's going to be red. And so it's nice when you have a different color that you're going to be using. You know, it's whether it's unexpected or not. You know, it's just nice to have a different kind of color. And I think I am actually going to use a green today. Not the green. I actually don't have the green near me. I think we're going to use the new green. Sorry, Han, sorry. I think this would be pretty with aqua. Remember we did orange and aqua last time? I think that'd be pretty with aqua. But because we did aqua last time, we'll go with a green. So we're going to use frosted foliage. Sorry about that, Han. Han's so good though. She always knows when I'm going to take a sharp corner. It's like she knows the corner is coming. Okay, and on here you'll see little dots. Those are the flower centers. So I like to put those down first, because if I get those aligned, the rest is not going to be too far behind. So find a place on your stencil that speaks to you and helps you line it up. Super duper easy. Okay. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much. Martian terrain, to say I heart Martian terrain is really an understatement. I more than heart Martian terrain. Martian terrain and rock collection. Oh, my heart. Oh, my heart. I know. Han's always got, she knows my moves before I do them. So even when I change my mind, I feel like Han knows my moves. Okay. So now we have the frosted foliage silver sage. We're going to go with this one. So little road trip change here. And you could, if you wanted to put a different color in the center of your floral, you could do that as well. But we're going to just kind of go along. And so because my flowers have two colors on each layer, I decided to do the same thing. Now, I will tell you, it's not super duper noticeable, but you know, it's something I like to do. And sometimes when we make a project, even though it's not super duper noticeable to others, we know it's there. We know the difference, and we enjoyed the process. So that's kind of enjoy the process, I guess, is my is my theme of the day. Make sure, because we make these cards because we want to share and make somebody else's day better and tell them we love them or appreciate them. So take some time for yourself while you're taking care of others. A little self-care built right into our taking care of others. And don't forget, we also have the amazing card drive going on for seniors in homes that may not get a card otherwise. If you have some cards at home, I don't know, somebody that's talking right now that are sitting in boxes, need a good place to go, make sure you think about sending those on to the Parents Card Hop blog. There's a blog post about it that you can find out all the information, and Altenew gets them out to folks that are in nursing homes and maybe might not get a card, from their families. So it's really a wonderful thing. Now we're going to do jade. Okay, and I'm just adding the smallest touch. And again, will this be really obvious? No, but I know it's there. And it makes a difference to me. Okay, so that's the thing. Sometimes we do things just because we know we will like the look of it. Because we're still going to come in and we're still going to use the next stencil. There's still one more stencil. But sometimes I like to add to the definition and depth that Altenew has built into a stencil. I like to give it a little more something. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the beauty of this, is that we all create different things in different ways. All right, so we got this. And then again, like I said, we're coming in and we're going to be doing another layer anyways. And I'm going to be using 2 inks on that as well, because we did all the flowers and I just want to kind of continue it there, Hello, everybody coming in. It's so lovely to see all of you. I wish I could see all your beautiful faces. That's the only sad part. Okay, so here we are. Ta-da! I feel like I need some magical music here. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this stencil on. And you can see again, you've got the flower centers on there. So if that's where you want to start, okay, and then you can easily kind of slide on over. I think that was a song in the 80s, The Slide. The Electric Slide. There we go. We're electric. Yes, these greens are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. These and Nature's Wonders are probably my two favorite greens. I use them. Nature's Wonders, I'm surprised, has not dried out yet. I use it so frequently. All right, so again, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to come in with this one, and I'm just going to fill in all the openings. Okay, so this is eucalyptus. Boogie woogie woogie, yes. We got a boogie woogie boogie. Oh, is it boogie oogie oogie or boogie woogie woogie? I don't know. I think it's boogie oogie oogie, isn't it? We always do songs. Whenever I craft with you guys, it always comes back to music, which is awesome. I love it. And you know, some folks, because my taste in music is a little bit outside my quote unquote generation. So I'm glad that I have some folks that are inside my musical generation of choice. Okay, now I'm just going to add where I think it would be darker. Okay, and it adds a little touch, and it just shows that you can do a little bit extra. Even though Altenew gave me all this built in, I don't have to think about it. I can if I want to, and that's the great thing. So I can add a little bit of extra dimension and depth with my blending tools. And that's a lot of this. You know, they give you a great place to start. And then it's like, where are you going to go? Oh, I wasn't thinking of the bugle boy. No, I was the boogie oogie oogie. Yeah, something like that. It wasn't the bugle boy. I'm not oh God, that song will probably never come out of my head. That's why I don't think of the bugle boy, because he gets stuck in there and I can't shake him out. He's a naughty little bugle boy. He stays in my head. Okay, so here is our image. So there are our colors. So we used frosted foliage and Martian terrain. So there we are. Okay, we're going to set this off to the side. We'll put the platform back on the stage. So if you hear me referring to it, this is the stage, okay? And this is the platform, the flip top platform. There, okay. So I'll set that to the side. We will grab our dies. I've been dying to cut this out. Ha, 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 ha. You gotta have some punny jokes, right? You gotta be punny. Punny, punny. Okay, and of course, gotta have the satin masking tape. Oh, thank you. You guys are just the bestest. But you guys know that. All right, so I'm going to line it up as best I can. Let's see. I've got my old glasses on. My old glasses, the prescription didn't change much, but they fit much better on my face. Like, they don't fall off. My other glasses are too big, and they seem to take up my whole face. So I like my old ones better. And so I'm wearing those, but my bifocals aren't as strong as they are on the ones I'm supposed to be wearing. So sometimes my lining up is a little off course. All right, so we will bring in the beast to cut our beautiful, beautiful image here. Okay, put that there. And I'm gonna roll towards me. It's a big die. It's not the biggest one though. I'm trying to think. I think Magnificent Branch or Tulips and Friends. I think that's probably the biggest dies we have. That would be fun to know, though, what it is. But I think that would be my guess. Magnificent Branch or Tulips and Friends. Okay, so we're going to shimmy that off. Do the shimmy, shimmy, shake. See, it's all music when I come on. Because music and crafting are life. All right, so now we've got our beautiful poppies popped out. Ha, 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 ha. Okay, and apparently I amuse myself, so at least somebody's amused, right? I guess. All right, and I had a piece of cardstock. You guys saw me with it. I had it. Okay, here we go. Now we are going to just pick up our beautiful poppies. Okay, maybe. Here we go. We're going to pick these up, And we are going to put them over to the side for just un momento. And I pulled out, oh, my cap's off here on one. I pulled out Winter Lake. I think this is the one I want to use. And then Arctic Mountain, just to be sure that I had the depth and color that I want in there. When I made my other one, we can just use blue today. When I made the other card, I just used the I'm on a roll. Yes. I'm on a roll, Avril. Yes, I am. Okay. I'm on something. I don't know, a roll, caffeine. I'm not sure what it is. It's one of those. All right. I was just looking to see if I had a piece of paper next to me to, that's all right. I can wipe it off the glass after. Okay. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to start with Winter Lake, but I brought out Arctic Mountain. Well, they're travel buddies, just in case I need them. All right, and we're just going to blend. Blend, blend, blend. We're going to create a background. And remember, if you get these lines, don't worry about it. It's okay. No worries. And if having it darker around the edge of your cardstock bothers you, you could just trim it off and you could do a 5 1/4 by 4 card. So I think I'm going to have to pull in. This isn't as dark as I want it. So I'm glad I brought his friend along for the journey. I have my rhythm. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think I have any rhythm. I have some very awkward dance moves. I don't know if I have any rhythm. Rhythm may not be something that I was one of my talents. Yeah, I played bass drum in band. I didn't play drum, but the bass drum was a lot of fun. You just had that big mallet and you just pounded on the drum to the music. It was a lot of fun. All right. And then, of course, yesterday I spent, a bit of time ink blending my background. But I kind of like this. It kind of looks like a winter storm or something. It's kind of a cool, I'm kind of liking this. I mean, I know it's because it's going to dye the paper. It's going to settle into the paper. That's what a dye ink does. It dyes the paper. So it's going to change a little bit as I leave it. But I'm really liking this background. Now, I will tell you, if you wanted, because I am going to do sentiments with obsidian, I do have crafting rhythm. Thank you. So, yes, I can't dance, but my son's wedding, maybe I'll craft while everybody else is dancing. I'll be like, hey, come on over. This is where I can really show you my moves. Okay. It's hard to stop. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop ink blending. I just can't. It's just so pretty. And the more you do it, the prettier it gets. I just can't stop. Stop the madness. Okay. If you were going to go ahead and want to heat emboss a sentiment, I would recommend having done it before, because now this is going to be wet. Okay. So it's going to take a bit to dry. So I would I hate to recommend heat setting it with your heat tool because it dries your color back. So if you have the time, if you're just in your crafty studio and you're having a good time and you have all the time in the world, let it air dry. Oh no, I don't want to get songs stuck in your head. No. Well, hopefully I didn't put any bad ones in. I know the bad ones. I'm not going to say them. It's like the bad words. You don't say the bad words. I won't say the ones that get stuck in our head most of the time, because that would just be very, very bad. Okay, and I forgot to grab my tape here. So let me grab that. And Avril, look, we're still on a roll. Okay. All right, so now we have our beautiful, beautiful background. Okay, and we have our beautiful, beautiful poppies. So here we go. This is the fun bit where we're going to kind of lay everything out and see where stuff goes. So now, everybody, if you have to, please close your ears, because I'm warning you right now, there are going to be paper screams. So if you need to, close your ears. I don't want anybody to be scared, but the paper is going to scream because I am going to cut it. So I am going to cut off certain sections because I want to layer these together. Okay, so I'm going to cut right here. I want to be able to save my leaves and tuck them in places, as well as my poppies. So this one, good, I wiped my work surface because I'm dropping everything on it and it would have been blue. So see, and this, when I have a leaf like this, I tend to tuck it in at an angle so nobody would ever know that that was there. Okay. All right, so now this fella, we're going to kind of leave him. He's going to come up. We may trim a little bit off him. Let's put this guy on foam tape first. We're not going to remove the backers yet, okay? That is key. So if you're following this project later on, don't remove your backers. I know we get excited. Well, I do. And once the foam tape's on there, and try to keep your foam tape in the center. Okay, you guys know I usually cover the back. But the reason I'm saying keep your foam tape in the center is we're going to build a scene and we're going to be tucking some things in, okay? And we can always trim the other things so that they tuck nicely. But we want to have, so see how everything's kind of centered with the foam tape? This way I can tuck as I go. All right, so this is, I know I want this. And I like to have, on cards, I like my florals to hug my sentiment. Okay, so let's put this here because we want this. We want it to kind of hug down. Okay, and this guy right here, he's going to help the hug because we're going to tuck him in right here. Okay, so he's going to help our hug. And you can put him right there if you want to. Okay, and then we're going to come over, and this guy, he's going to go up in here and build our arrangement up as well. I always think of JC with flowers reaching to the sun. So when I do that type of maneuver. Okay, hopefully everybody's okay after the paper screams. I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay, and then so we'll have this one kind of coming out there. Okay, then we have a bunch of leaves left that we get to play with. So now that we know where everybody's kind of going, now we can bring out and start putting some foam tape on the other pieces. This one I did put down flat, but this one here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a piece of foam tape. And again, I'm going to put it right in the center so that I can make some decisions later if I need to, because it's better to plan for that. And as you know, yes, it's killing me inside not to cover the back of it. It's killing me a little bit inside. I'm panicking. So hopefully whoever gets this card understands if it gets squished in the mail. I was building a beautiful scene with the card. I'm so sorry. Okay. So here's this one, and this piece of tape kind of fell off. So I'm just going to put this guy in his place. Oh, that sounds bad. I'm going to put him in his new home. There we go. That sounds a little bit better. Sounded a little rude the other way. Okay, so we're going to make sure we got him in the right place. Want him right about there. And then we want him kind of right about there, possibly. Yeah, we want the leaf because I'm going to add a leaf up in this corner as well. I have to tell you, Karen, I am obsessed with foam tape. I use it like I don't usually leave any spot on the back of mine. And I just finished my first foam tape roll. That stuff lasts, it's been over a year, and I use a lot of foam tape. So that thing lasts forever. It lasts so long. I highly recommend it. And Altenew is super duper awesome. And it does come up on sale sometimes. So if you're on a budget and you are waiting for that, sometimes it does come up on sale as well. So keep an eyeball out for that. And then I am going to put a little piece of foam tape on the leaves as well. I probably will adhere like one of them down flat. But most of them, we're going to pop them up because why not? We need foam tape. We need dimension. We love dimension. All right. So, if I could pick him up and then see, I can just tuck him and I can trim off this. I don't need that anymore. So I can just kind of tuck him in here and nobody ever knows he was part of another plant. Nobody knows, unless of course you leave the evidence behind. You don't want to leave the evidence behind. So we'll trim that just a scotch more. Nobody will ever know that that wasn't supposed to be there. All right, and look at that. That piece just happened to fit perfectly. And then since we have the other two like that, we'll just leave them flat. Oh yes, dimension is life. Dimension is life. All right, so now we're going to peel off our backers off our big fella. He's the star of the show. This guy, he's the grounder, like in cheering. He's the one that the pyramid's built on. That was always me. I always had broad shoulders, so that was always me. I was always the one on the bottom that the pyramids are built on. All right, so there, we're going to tuck this right about here, I think. That's pretty good, okay? And then this fella, I'm going to remove that. Oh, I'm glad you like the background. And the thing is, the thing that's cool about it is it's just your ink pad. Just your ink pad. And you also could jazz this up if you wanted a little bit more jazz. With this project, you could go ahead and add some metallic sparkle, some of the iridescent shimmer spray, lots of ways to get some nice shiny on the back, because we do like the shiny, don't we, my loves? Okay, so then I'm going to put this little leaf right in here. And this is the fun part. This is where you come in and you just kind of like build your bouquet. You know? Oh, this guy wasn't glued down. I thought he was. I think this is the most conservative I have ever been in my entire life with foam tape. So I feel so proud of myself today. And then this guy, just to show you, you can really chop these up and make them your own arrangement. So see, who would have known that that leaf was part of the base? Nobody. And then we're going to go ahead, and remember I said I wanted to put one up here. So we will get our glue tape pen. We'll get that put on there. Okay, just like this. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead, and this guy, he's going to go down flat as well. Okay, and then he's going to tuck in right here. Okay. And then that is the base of our card. Now, I'm going to trim off the bottom. The leaf on top might be okay. He might squeak through in the envelope. There's not much hanging off there. So our finality, I also have 1.5 rolls. Yeah, the satin, I have the satin masking tape. I haven't gone through a roll of that yet, and I bought like 2 when it came out. And I still haven't gone through a roll. It literally lasts forever, this satin masking tape, because you don't use it once and throw it away. You use it and then you peel it back very carefully, peel it back on itself like this, and you can use it again and again and again and again and again and again. So keep that in mind. Now, what I think would be absolutely stunning is to have the sentiment done in gold heat embossing. But remember, we discussed that this is still wet. So that would be a nightmare, because I would stamp my sentiment. It would stamp straight. It would be beautiful. And then I would put the powder and it would be all over my card. So I'm not going to do that, but I will, I think the black might be too dark, but I'm going to try it. Let's see. I'm going to do a little Love You. And the reason I'm pulling this one is because I love all of you dearly. You're all very, very wonderful. And I'm so glad and so proud to be part of this crafting community with every single one of you. So I love all of you dearly. Secondly, is that if this is a boo-boo, if I do this, oh yeah, gold splatter, Roxanne, right there with you. Right there with you. And I probably would have done it before I put the poppies down. We could do a little, you see, I've got the iridescent. Here we go, hand. We're going wild again. We're going rogue. All right, let's stamp the sentiment first, and then I'll do a quick little smattering of the iridescent on there. I think that will be stunning. So let's do the sentiment here. And I like to stamp off first on a piece of cardstock. It tells me a few things. What kind of pressure do I need to put? Did I hold it there long enough? Did I push the stamp down in the right area? And I didn't last time because I only got half of it. So I like to practice a few times. It also allows ink to build up on the stamp so it's nice and covered and the stamp and the paper or feeling the love. Okay, so there. So those are my practices. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put, let me see, let's see. Can I stamp straight? LOL. All right, so I'm going to put it right here. And the reason I chose the love you is, again, the aforementioned reasons. But as well, I could also cut a circle with one of Alt's new circle dies, put the love you with gold, and fix it if it's not good. Now, my E was a little messed up, but that's okay. I can fix that with one of our amazing, I know the font, Alicia, the font. Can we talk enough about the font? I don't think so. The fonts this month, oh my God, the fonts. I'm a font girl. I'm a sentiment girl, a font girl. That's where my happiness lies. So, okay, so I can fix this though with one of the Alt New pens, the fine liners, if I had to do that. But we will see. I could always put the circle there, maybe with some gold in the background and gold. Well, we'll see. So, lots of options. But just to see, we'll add some of the splatter. And if it gets on the flowers, it's okay. But you'll really notice it on this dark background. And yeah, if I would have thought, because Martian Terrain and Gold, they're like BFFs. They just are like BFFs. So there's that. And then we also could do, you asked for it, here it is. We'll add a smattering of gold as well. Because iridescent and gold, I think, go very well together on cards as well. I think they work very well together. And if it bothers you to have your images have splatter on them, just go ahead and cover them up. No biggie. You can, sometimes I just put my hand, kind of cup my hand to get it on there to make sure it's all covered up. My top 3 favorite fonts. Oh, goodness. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I love the sentiment strips. I love that blocky font on there. So I do love that one. And then I think mine are, I love when Altenew mixes the fonts. So like here where it has, the basic font where it's like Arial or whatever the font name is. And then it has the fancy, like the cursive. I love when they mix the fonts. So I think that's my favorite, is the mixture of the fonts. Okay, so we did bring in the gold, okay? And I think I would stamp my love you maybe on gold, or I know mixing fonts is magic. But can you see the iridescent and the golds together create, it looks of course better in person as they always do, and there's some up on the flower, but that's okay. Oh, there you go. See, you can see, look at this, the beautiful splatter that occurred on there. And that's how that came out. Oh, my favorite floral. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's why I only have one child, so I can never be asked who my favorite child is. My favorite floral. I'm going to go with the one I reach for the most, which is a Build-A-Flower, the Tree Peony. That's one of my absolutely favorite, hands down, all-time favorites is the Tree Peony. The Build-A-Flower Tree Peony. There we go. I can't speak. So yeah, I have to say that's one of my all-time favorites Altenew sets is the Build-A-Flower Tree Peony. So, but yeah, so just to show you, just changing, these were the reds and the pinks as suggested in the layering guide. That's what they used. And then we just changed it. So we kind of have like a daytime and a nighttime one. And especially the addition of the gold and the iridescent, like you can really see it there, it really creates kind of like a nighttime effect. You're out, all the stars and these beautiful poppies are in front of you. But so I wish I could have done a project with you for every single item that is in this amazing release, because they all are absolutely stunning and amazing. But I really wanted to showcase the stencil on this one, just where we had that turn so that you guys knew. And Estates one, the last one. And then, yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope if you have not checked out the new release for the Marvelous Monthly, it comes out every month on the 17th. which I'm super excited because in May will be on my birthday. So it's like a built-in birthday present. An Altenew release? Come on, what gets better than that for your birthday? So yeah, keep a lookout on the 17th for the Marvel Monthly release. And next month we'll have something a little different because Paint to Flower is going on vacation, we'll say, for a little bit. So we're not going to have Paint to Flower for now. But you never know what Altenew is going to do. So it's always good to keep an eyeball out because there are lots of wonderful crafty surprises always around the corner with Altenew. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Han, for behind the badge. Thank you all for joining us so much. And from all of us at Altenew, thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life. We will see you all very, very soon. Bye, everyone.